guys, so before I get started, I just wanted to give Shaila a huge shout out for doing not just this, but the entire IB and TISB initiative. It's just such a fantastic resource that I wish I could have had when I was in your shoes. And you guys should really be grateful for this because obviously IB and the college application process is very challenging, and this is something that is really useful and a really great perspective to get while you're going through it. Alright, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Miten Nayak. I graduated TISB in 2019 and I'm currently a freshman at NYU. I study business at the Stern School, and I've decided to split this video into two parts. Firstly, I'll be talking about NYU as a whole in general, and secondly, I'll be delving more into the academic side and Stern in particular. So the first thing people think of usually when they hear NYU is New York City, and we're one of the few large universities who doesn't have a campus. So as the university keeps saying on their website, the city is your campus, which is very true. Although a large part of NYU is concentrated in the East Village, and that's where most of the residence halls are. You are truly in the city, and you're not just surrounded by college students all the time, and it's not a closed campus. You're interacting with the entire New York City all the time. So obviously this comes with its pros and cons. The pros being obviously, you're in New York City. There's just so many things to do. You'll never run out of things to do. You'll never get bored. And another great part about that is that your friends around the country will keep coming to visit you because their campuses are boring as hell and they just go to the same places every single weekend. So, um, obviously, there are downsides to this. Being in New York City, that's extremely expensive, and every single time you go out, you're paying for so many things, and it just adds up so fast. And that's something you definitely need to take into account while you're applying, considering the large tuition fee as well. So another thing about being in the city that some people like, some people don't, is that you're not surrounded by college students all the time. You're not surrounded by a closed campus, much like how you're used to right now at TISB. That the environment keeps changing every day. Every single time you step out, it's a whole different scene. And this can be nice because you get a change. You don't have to see the same people all the time, and this could be a disadvantage as well. If you don't take it well, you could get lost. So many people at NYU complain of not finding a community, of not having a strong sense of belonging at NYU because they're just so lost in the city, and that's something that's really on you. That's something that you'll have to tackle yourself and find a community for yourself, which honestly isn't really that hard to do. It's something that people who don't really take initiative complain a lot about, but if you work at it, you'll be fine. The second thing about NYU, I guess, continuing this, is that it's very, very large. Our undergraduate student body is around 26,000 people, and as compared to, what is it, 1,000 at TISB, it's a big, big change. You don't know everybody in your school. You have to find different groups of people that you like, people with similar interests, as opposed to just knowing everybody, being friends with everybody. And this is a big step coming from such a close knit, well rounded community at TISB, and it's something that you have to take in your stride, and it's something that you get a lot of learning from, and you could really advantage from. But for some people that don't want to take the initiative, that would like to have a closed-in community built for them, I would say NYU isn't the place to go because of this. And a large part of finding community I've found at NYU is finding people with similar interests. Most of my friends right now are friends I've made in class, friends I've made in business groups, friends I've made in cultural groups, and just doing activities around campus. that I signed up for, and there's just so many ways that NYU offers you to interact with this community that you can take advantage of. And another thing that's different from it being in school and it being in college is that in school, so many things are forced upon you. In university, it's 100% up to you whether to do them or not. So I would say it's easy for people to complain uh, that it's hard to find community, but if you find the right things to do, then you'll be fine. All right, so academics. I would say for those of you applying to NYU and not to Stern, something I'd have to say is that Stern is obviously in rankings uh, quite a few steps ahead of other schools at NYU, and a big downside to students that don't go to Stern at NYU is that NYU also recognizes this, so they put a lot of resources into Stern compared to other schools, and obviously this annoys students of other schools, and is something you should definitely consider before applying. But for those of you in Stern, I mean, it's such a great school. Like there's the classes because we have to take classes at Stern and at other schools at NYU as well. All of our classes aren't in Stern, and the the difference is just huge. There's no comparison. It's like you're going to two different universities. Like the just the Stern building in general compared to other NYU buildings, it's really great. I would so For those of you applying to Stern, much like NYU in general, Stern is also really big. My freshman class this year is 600, and I think yours will probably be more. So again, finding a community within Stern um, is going to be an effort from your side, and but obviously something that is very doable. So, in terms of classes in particular, most classes at Stern are so the way it works is that you have big lectures, usually twice or thrice a week, that are around like 70 to 100 students, and those lectures are broken down into recitation groups that you have around once a week, where you have a more of a interactive class setting. But as opposed to smaller universities, NYU, most classes you'll have at NYU are big lecture settings with at least 50 or more students. So if that's a good learning environment for you, then yeah. But I know a lot of people that say that they really like small classrooms and a lot of student teacher relations and small student to teacher ratios. So if that's something that's extremely important to you, I would say Stern might not be the place for you because, like I said, most of our um, classes are lecture style. But most of the professors um, I've had at NYU are really genuinely intelligent people that are excited to share their knowledge with you, and they're all most of them. My accounting professor right now, you can Google her if you want to, Amal Shahara. She is top 50 in the country for accounting. My statistics professor last semester got his PhD from Stanford, and that NYU hires like the cream of the crop in terms of professors. So there's no doubt you're going to get a first class education that you signed up for, obviously. So a downside, I would say, to Stern is that there's a lot of stigma around it, a lot of unhealthy competition. Um, you'll see a lot of people that are really goal oriented, and this could be great. Could be something you could learn from, but it could be bad in a way that's people aren't really focused on enjoying university and just being there for a good time, but they're really focused on getting jobs and networking right from the first day at university. Obviously, this is not most people, but you will find that culture at Stern. Um, yeah, well, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys can benefit from this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out email, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want. Good luck.